believe that the Vietnam education system, they don't provide proper education for our citizens.
It depends on school. But like almost, I don't think so. No.
No. Yes and no.
International school, the facility is really good.
Yeah.
But in Vietnamese school, the facility is quite poor, and also the school fee in local school is much cheaper. And but in international school, the program is quite hard, but it's nothing to compare with the local school. Because 2 years in here it may look this much, but in Vietnam it only this much, but that much, and they had to study academy too. So average Vietnamese student spend at least 7 to 8 hours. The average student 7 to 8 hours a day to study, and better student, like more expected from parents, is like 10 hours a day.
10 hours a day.
So like about 5 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock.
The main difference is the curriculum. In Vietnamese school, we don't provide any extra activities compared to the international school. And in Vietnamese school, we study mainly about remember things, and we don't usually apply them to our life. But in international school, we learn about practical things, like doing lots of experiments, and also we can apply that in practical experiments. For example, in the test.
I think the facilities in international school is much better than local school, and in international school we have opportunity to like more freedom and self-defense.
I think international school has give us more opportunity to be ourselves. And Vietnamese school doesn't.
Like the method is different. The method that the teachers use is different. Like in Vietnamese school, the teacher only asks you to write a theory and just study the theory. But in international school, they teach you the theory and then they ask you to apply the theory in real situations.
In international school, we have changed to develop our skills, but in local school, we only listen to what the teacher asks us to do.
Well, first, Korean school is inefficient and impractical. For example, high school students go to school at 7 a.m. and study until 10 p.m. So they study like more than 10 hours straight. Also, they only learn theories, even subjects like PE and music, which they need practices. Also, there's no opportunity for students to choose the subject, so they cannot take their favorite subject, and then it's hard to decide which subject they're going to use.
Education is unrealistic and ineffective. It doesn't really help for the future. For example, in Korean school, they only learn the theory of swimming and take tests only. In order to get good grades, they go to academics on the academics. On the other hand, in international school, we have the opportunity to choose the necessary subject only and learn them to use in practice.
Like for local schools, in Malaysia, the teachers, they don't really care whether if you understand the subject or not. Yes, and like whereas international school, the teachers would have like what do you call it, like.
They cares about students and
and you have like you have checklists to tell you whether you understand it or not, right? Yeah.
But I believe it is because the government don't support them. They are either in isolated area when getting access to education is quite difficult, and either they are too poor because the annual fees in Vietnam although it's not high compared to other neighborhood countries, but it's still high compared to the income of the people. So by that way, they cannot get access to the education, and that results in the very high percentage of literacy.
They help their family. Oh yeah, they have to help their family. Okay.
Because they have to help
A lot of things, like the teachers is bad. Sometimes they hit the students, and some parents their income is not really good, so they ask their children to stay home and sell lottery and do some job like selling something for them. So they have to stop their education and do the job.
Some of my friends in the local school, because their family, the economy is going down, so they cannot go to school anymore. They have to stay home and help.
Since the school is so harsh, they tend to go against the parents and the teachers.
Yeah.
So they don't want to study hard, and they want to enjoy their life. And teenagers are kind of interested in other stuff.
Yeah.
For example, like clothes and
clubs.
girls.
Yeah.
So I think that's why some students are not studying
Hard.
Since the parents and teachers push them too much to study, they learn to go against them and not study. The Korean education system makes students learn more in private institutes than the schools.
Let me read this one again.
I think it's the teacher's fault and the government's fault as well. As I said just now, the teachers don't really care about the students. They just teach just to get their pay.
International school. And another kind of really hard working student. If I say really hard, it will be quite tough for me. So, and also international school help me. Like in Vietnam, we study more about theory than practical. But in here, we more about practical than theory.
International school, because I understand better and I get more information from it.